Anjarama, I'm a fuller girl with daddy issues, hiding them away like eating tissues. In my tribe, it's not the norm you see. To lack a dad, it's not meant to be. A facade of happy homes we portray, but deep down the pain won't sway. Daddy issues, they call it, but I stay quiet for fear of giving the neighbors a riot. Nene's scream echoes in my mind. Don't speak of him, let's leave him behind. So I bury the hurt, the ache, the strive, and pretend that having no dad is just life. So I never spoke about this stranger. I never waited, there was no room to be sad. I never wrote poems about you because I never truly knew what to say. How do you vent about someone that's so far away? The pain of yearning for something that's alive but chose not to stay. So I don't have daddy issues. Because for there to be an issue, something must have happened, but you are just a fantasy in my brain, a character in a book I can't explain. You were never here for me to complain, for me to vent out my rage. From the beginning, you gave no one a choice, no room to complain. You authored my life and you orchestrated my pain. Mom said we're alike, a thought I despise. For every trait of yours, I agonize. Every comparison she made still haunts me down at night. Maybe that's why she never looked at me twice, because I was a constant reminder of all her hurts and traumas. I mean, who would blame her? I got the face of the man who ruined her life. I'm a walking mistake. And every time I hear her say, "You exactly like your dad," I feel icky and disgusted inside because I couldn't be. That's bad, right? Mom, I'm haunted by my reflection, for in it I find you. You couldn't have slipped away quietly, could you? You gave me an unmatched trauma that radiates from my aura. Your blood runs through my vein. Tell me, how am I supposed to forget? I spent my whole life trying to prove that I'm not like you, staying in toxic places just to pursue a sense of belonging, but your shadow looms a constant entity. I grew up, but somehow every part of you lingers on my soul. I hate that you're half of me. I hate myself because every part of me represents you. I can't escape. You've tied me so high I can't fly. How dare you not let me go despite all the seeds I sow? The irony is I have so much to thank you for. Like, thank you so much, stranger. Because of you, I love you is like a foreign language to my ears. Like, thank you so much. Because of you, I can't stay in relationship for too long. I get nice guys and I villainize them. I read their text like they're having sex. And if it's true, then I blame you for all the worst that I have fallen on. Like, thank you so much, stranger. You gave me anxiety and depression that I have to live with for a very long time. But yet again, it made me a very good writer. I guess it's true what they say. I am my father's daughter. I am the sin that I was born from. Yeah.
Growing up, I only knew 1 and other digits were what we should call figures. I never really had that thing which you all call father figure. You see, I only had to stay home with a masculine figure that I had to call a father, and this man that I called a father, he was actually not home. If he was even there, we would fight a lot, and I fought to secure myself in the secluded space that he had already created for me. This man I had to call a father, he was actually there, but he lacked patience, but at the same time, he had so much time to give. I mean, so much time to kill all what I wanted to be. Actually, I know it's a sad thing to hate, but if I was to hate with passion, I would not hate him, but I would hate the fact that I had to come from him. You see, my dad, he started killing me since the day that I was born. He actually wanted a daughter, but sadly, God looked at him and gave him me, so I had to live with him. So basically, I am his biggest mistake and his biggest reject. Going further, this man that I call a father, he actually made me hate myself. Because he would scare my eyes but at the same time scare me, I became some toy that he could spar with. My body, I mean my hands became mom's safe space, my back became a new place to carry his insults, and sadly, my eyes became a new room for ice. So this man that I call a dad, he actually made me hate him more on Sundays. Because on Sunday mornings, he would use like 30-minute sermons to ruin my life. I mean, kill all what I wanted to be. And at the same time, he would take the altar and then preach to people about 3 hours trying to change their lives. You see, for him, hallelujah was just a sad excuse for a prayer. This man I called a dad, he killed me. I am already dead but walking. He made me look at the mirror but see myself holding knives to stab me. This man I called a dad. People say I look like him, but I don't want to look like a monster. He has always been my biggest nightmare. My childhood pillows have not been enough to hold the tears. You see, this man already broke me a lot. So looking at him, I see my broken self. I see a reflection of what people say I look like, but yet still I am already nothing. This man I called a dad. I had to live with him. He killed me, but most times I got up again and he killed me again. They say parenthood is something that a son should wish for. But actually, if having a child whose death dream is always what you have in your head, or making his worst dreams become something you're proud of, then I would rather grow, age, die alone without a son. Thank you.
Let me share with you a story about my daddy. It's hard to have a missing father, but the most difficult one is to have a living father that is always living, a present dad that is always absent, and a working dad who is always busy. Growing up, I have several conversations with mom about my dad because I never get to see him. At age 5, with innocence in my eyes, I asked Mama, where is my daddy? I told her I want to walk with pride, hand in hand with us by his side. I told her about the kids at school, the way they brags about their daddies. I told her I want to go to the park with Dad by my side. Mama looked at me with a broken heart, and then she crooked a smile to tell me some beautiful lies, crafted in tales just to make me smile. In the process, she failed to realize that she was raising me on lies. But yet, those beautiful lies paved my path. But Dad, this is on you. This is on you for turning the truth into deceit. My mom's words that used to be pure are now tainted by your absence. You have turned a virtuous woman into a liar, a sacred woman into a sinner, and a joyous woman into a loner. Daddy, you've changed a beautiful woman. And as days pass by, I watch her cry in disbelief, or in belief that you will be back. But as I watch her cry, my soul was consumed with hate and anger for you. And as I grew, passing through the stages of life, I was filled with low self-esteem, anger, hatred, and jealousy. Well, that was one trait of your legacy that you left behind for me. And when the moonlights glow, your stories will unfold. Mommy used to cherish your memories and all the tales you retold just to keep your legacy bold. She lies. Daddy, you've changed a beautiful woman. At age 16, I spoke with Mommy again. With rage, I stood and asked, was I a mistake? How come Daddy never comes back? With all these questions in my head, I was left to brainstorm the answers by myself because Mommy couldn't speak anymore. But as I tried to comprehend the reasons for your absence, the reasons why you choose to neglect our existence, I became persistent in the hate and anger I have for you. Man, you're a coward. How come you let a woman raise the boy into a man? Why you sit at some corner folding your hands, watching the days and the nights pass by without you reaching by? Damn! Man, I hate you. You've made me hate the whole process of being a father. I hate that I have to live to carry your legacy because all the love I craved from you I never received. You have turned all the love I have for you into a fantasy, ones that I will never live to see. Man, I hate you. My hatredness grew, spreading like a disease attacking every manhood. Just like the effect coronavirus brought to its origins, the hate I have for men affects me too. Yes, I hate to admit that I hate me too. But Dad, this is on you. This is on you for turning love into hate. This is on you for turning strength into weakness and calmness into anger, and now I can't behave. I'm 25 now. A boy is now a man. All these pictures I painted of dad is now clear. All these questions I seek from mom has now been answered. And it is indeed true that experience is the greatest teacher. In the face of manhood, I've come to realize that my dad's actions was not his pure intentions. So how can I become a father? King Righteous. Thank you.
Daddy issues. See, it's not that easy with you here, but I know I want you to stay. See, this could be us in a few years, but just tell me you like to play. It's like every day I'm kicking rocks. I could fly away, but you got me out of complete. Stop, how do you manage to keep me going? Somehow you keep me from going. See, you distract me, but I'm distracted without you. I don't know how to focus, Daddy teach me how to. See, I'm standing still lurking. I want to write a poem about him, but all I have are beautiful grudges of him that makes me look ugly. I want to remind him of the countless times he promised to be by my side, but he left. I want to love him so bad, but there are a million reasons why I can't, because a good part of me was ripped off by him the day he told me, I wish I never had you. I want to badly remind him of how I disappointed him by being a girl. And now there's no one to hold on to his legacy, no one to go to a football match with him, no one to have some boys chat with him, just because I'm a girl. I want to regret all the times and up till now where I most time dressed like a boy because my dad always wanted one. I want to choose him over my mom, but you see, I can't because my mom too late, so my dad pretended he intended to love me. I want to constantly remind him that he's the reason I do not know how to love a man, because I saw how badly I treated my mom and I and everyone around me. So my apologies. If both men and daddies are the worst beings on earth. I wanted to reconcile with him, but after this poem, I no longer will, because I'll be saying everything he never was to me, and that will make me owe him no apologies. I swear I wish to write good things about him, but even my ink hold grudges against him, and every piece of me makes the feeling mutual. I badly want to tell the world how it constantly ignores the call of my cry, asking, Daddy, why? Even if I'm a girl, I can still make you proud. See, I'm putting on all these baggy jeans. I even stole some of his things so I can be a replica of him. Sometimes I wonder why I wasn't asked before I was born if I wanted him as a dad. See, honestly, Dad, that night we fought was a night you lost me. You couldn't stand up to your promises as a man. When Mom left, you told me you were going to take after her footsteps, but it's obvious you could have just denied me like she did when she said, I am not ready for a child yet. I want to take down every word in my mind that says, oh, forgive him, he's your dad, and all you need is blessings in your life. I need not forget the day someone told me I look so much like him. I had to contemplate. Is it the character? Because it cannot be the face, for I'll forever hate myself, so it has to be the character. Because the only resemblance I have left of him is hating myself, ignoring myself, reminding myself that my dad is not proud of me, so I cannot be proud of me. And from him I inherited all my mood swings, and he's getting angry for no good reasons. So the last time someone told me, oh, you are so polite, I tell them it's because I'm not working with my dad inside my mind. See, I want to remind him that he's the reason I've been dating myself for 20 years now, because no one wants to settle down with a girl that have daddy issues. Honestly, the scars in my mind are the ones on my body, are the only good memories I have left of him. My dad is the reason I am so uptight. He is the reason my anxiety fucks with me all the time. He is the reason I have to teach myself to be more like me, remind myself that I'm nothing like him. My dad said he doesn't want a musician as a child. He said he doesn't want a poet as a child. I said, well, you just lost another child. See, the last time my dad and I had some quality time was a time I couldn't remember. But trust me, my dad is a good person. And a dad is someone who should motivate you, guide you, protect you, and you should be his pride, right? But in my own case, all these words are either dead of non-existence.
So, dear Dad, if you ever get to see this, I hope someday you'll be proud of this disappointment that you made, and then you realize that all I ever wanted was for you to be proud of me. Carrie.
I met my father when I was 8. Not much of a memory there. Just him coming to see me in the room, reading a book like Mom had told me to. I met my father when I was 9. Not much of a memory there either. He came to the house for my birthday and decided to take me to Family Kingdom that afternoon. I was excited to spend time with him, despite the swollen lips I had gotten from having my mouth scrubbed with a footbrush by my mother for being mouthy. On our way back home, our most distinct exchange was me noticing the small, transparent, cylindrical container in hand, which happened to have mints in them that he gave me to suck. I met my father at 15. I knew nothing of the world I lived in. As the 15-year-old with a chest full of breasts, who had seen more porn than was legally allowed, I asked my father to have the talk with me. Of course, the talk was not had. Instead, a tribunal was formed in my name. Mother was furious, as the daughter she thought she had, which I for sure knew I was not, was now running naked in Parentsville for all to see. I lost my father at 15. Out of sight, out of mind. I went on navigating the world without his guidance, falling for boys who were unsure of me as much as I was unsure of myself. Asking the universe what fucked up game it was trying to play. Begging for scraps of a connection with a man who took on the role of my father. Writing him letters in the hopes of him finally seeing me and acknowledging our relationship. My father returned when I was 17. Not much of a memory there either, as he was gone as fast as he came. My anger disrupted our connection as he tried. Oh, he tried to bypass the issues we've had on the phone that day. That call became highlight reel as once again I had done the unthinkable and was painfully honest, disrespectfully so, about where I was and how I was feeling. Dad and I talk now. Mostly when I call though. Dad and I love each other. Of different capacities in different ways. Dad and I have had several conversations on this particular topic. But here is where we're similar. We prefer not to be told what to do. And so I walk this life, half but barely satisfied with our relationship. Unable to take full breaths at the sounding of his name. Crying when nobody's looking. Pining for a man who I am so sure cannot love me how I want to be loved or hold me how I want to be held. Maybe now is not the time. Maybe I will understand when I am older. Maybe I should not hold on to an idea of you. Instead, just love you like you are. Perhaps, maybe, one day, I could breathe. Thank you.
Why is it always like this? You never being around when I need a hand to squeeze. I try to tell you how much I miss you, but my words get caught up in the wind and you just don't hear me loud and clear. I could have sworn that it was you whispering to me that everything's going to be fine. Sad truth is, you don't even care. But you always tell me otherwise. How you got busy with Mr. A, B, and C, which is why you just couldn't get here on time to pay my fees. Questions running through my mind, trying to figure out why I'm the least person you'd want to be with. You say you love me, but I see you in bright daylight pushing me off a cliff with promises you're yet to keep. Maybe my mother could better explain to me why you've chosen to neglect me at a time like this. No, she doesn't want me to hate you. So all she tells me are made-up stories, or in other words, lies, just to help put my mind at ease.
Do you know you can have a death penalty for this? Do you?
Mr. Officer, my novels and pen are my sword. This is my true life story. Allow me to pen down those words. Sorry if you will not be delighted with my lines. Mr. Officer, authorize me to take it off my mind.
You may proceed.
I'm not a criminal. I just did what was right. This man was a beast. He always started up a fight. He flogged my mother for doing the right thing and addressed her impolitely. I grew up in a joyless home where my father never accepted that he was wrong and always acted like he was right. He was a beast and I wish his soul burst in hell. Mr. Officer, I'm guilty of my crimes. Please take me back into the cell. He always strokes my mother with a strap, show her love with a slap, burns her leg until she becomes handicapped, sleeping with diverse women daily and made my mom a side chick. When we call him daddy, he whipped us with sticks. I am the monster he has made. The wounds he left us with will never heal. He married my mother as a wife but ended up treating her as a maid. I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. That's why I stabbed him with a knife. Because of the debt he left, he never paid. I'm the perpetrator of his death. Now take me or kill me. I'm ready to pay my debt.
You think it's just about the debt? What about your lifeless father? You murderer!
Dear Father, I have failed you. Or should I say I betrayed you? I made a promise that I must fulfill. I'm sorry I'm the one who killed you and I did it because I despised you, not because I desire your will. I was not forced. I did it willingly. Instead of being a good father, you ended up being a boss. But Father, you forgot to tell them that. Your attitude towards us was bad and ugly. You only generated fear in us and never supported us in our studies.
Will you just shut up? I don't have time for all this. Now, what will be your last words?
Dear Father, what exactly were you living for? We were expecting love and care from you, but wickedness and selfishness you embraced. I wish you were never a father to us, because the life you were living was a cost. I guess this is why we'll both say goodbye. And my desire is for me not to meet you on the other side. Dear Father, you failed to define the world for me constructively. Now the world I've done it destructively.
Shut up! I said your last words!
Sorry, Mr. Officer. These are my last words. This is how I'll break the tree with the sword before taking my life. Allow me to make a plea to God. Dear God, these were Daddy's issues. The way he treated us was painful, so this was the only way I decided to break through. I'm guilty of my crimes, but I was neither wrong nor right. This was an issue between a father and a son, and luckily, I won the fight.
All right.